Okay, let's get busy with it. How's it going? Yeah, I know it's a little close, but let me get you set here on the couch. Get you a seat on the couch. I try and get the camera a little bit more. Probably not. Probably the same place it was last time. About right here. Is this center? It's pretty high. Wish I could get that down a little bit. But it's not going to stay there. Makes no difference. I'll just sit up here. I'll sit up here. Because this is not going to be as... Oh, now this is a 45-minute video. A lot of it is covering the same stuff that was in the last video. The standards of A&A. Standards. American Numismatic Association. Standards. So, here, let me get out of your way a little bit. It's a little bit. So yeah, this we're just gonna probably skip through a lot of that. Let's get a sound check.
Liberty quarters, and they were often after walking Liberty half dollars. These are things that we don't see very often anymore. And 90%, remember that 90% suffers from attrition constantly. It's constantly being lost. It's constantly being melted. It's constantly being cleaned.
That's where you listen to Ken. Of course, Ken retired, kind of said the heck with you all in 1998 when they created PCGS. But he tells you that one day all this 90% is going to be grabbed up by everybody, and there's going to be a big demand because supply and demand. There's not going to be a supply because the stackers are going to be grabbing it. Ken didn't know that, but that's what's starting to happen is the stackers are like, I'm tired of, I'm going to stack something else. So I'll stack some Morgan coals. They're not coals. PCGS, all right, has no grade for coal of coal. It has a grade of poor, but it doesn't have a grade of coal. Okay, so, and then it has genuine authentic, and then it has Shelton gradable. Okay, so anyway.
And all of those things impact it. So
Well, there's probably a lot of little comments I could make through here, but
you think of today as...
I don't want to take up everybody's time. I want to show what's wrong. I want to show what... No! Do not do what Dub C's is telling you to do, and here is why it's wrong. That's what I want to do.
As being junk or, not valuable 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road could actually become something that has a strong numismatic premium. And it's important to understand that improperly cleaning coins does impact value. I've got some examples I wanted to show you.
And scarcity. As they get more scarce, that's going to change the value too. I'm going to skip some. So it's just kind of going over the A&A guidelines. And you can just go watch the A&A videos and boom, there you got it. Same place he got it. Get it for yourself. That's what I say,
About here.
Don't take somebody else's word. Don't take my word.
What else
go
do we have?
watch
I've got some examples, right? I was going to tell you these examples. Now, if you are new to coin collecting, I mentioned in the last video that you have definitely seen now, right? That sometimes, if you're new, you might think of a dark toned...
I would put sodium fluoride on that, and then I would set it in the sun to accelerate the reaction. And If the toning came off, so be it. If the toning wouldn't come off, so be it. That's all I would do to it, because it's an okay coin, just how it is. I'd like to remove a little bit of that. If I could do it without damaging the surface of the metal. But if I had to scrub it, I'm not gonna scrub that coin. I'm not gonna. But I'm not gonna dip it the way that he dips it. He's all wrong. He's all wrong.
Coin, a stained coin, is being not something that a collector would want, right? You look at it and you see, who would want those ugly splotches on this coin? You can see here with my magic pointer, we've got some kind of almost rust red, brown colored toning that's taking place in this area. There's a little bit down here also. I don't think the reverse has that.
Doesn't
a little
even
bit
look like it'll
outside.
come off.
I actually like this. So, you know, some coin collectors
That
really
stuff
like
looks
certain
like
types
it's
of toning.
stuck on,
This
especially
toning
if that's
says
brass. I don't know
original.
what it
This is
is.
something that I like to see. But you can
It
also
looks like
see
brass.
that somebody who wasn't
I
that
don't
familiar
know.
with coins might
It's
see that and
Reals.
say,
Thought they
I
were
can
all
make
ours.
this coin look better by polishing
But
it or cleaning it.
I don't know what
We
they're
don't
made out
want
of.
that, right? We want these original, very delicate surfaces that take decades and decades to appear on a coin. That speaks to us.
If that's bronze, I bet you that stuff is really stuck on there. I wouldn't take it off. Would not.
Authenticity. But you can
I'd give it one try with the sodium fluoride and sunlight, and then that's it. I'd give up.
see this coin has got some cartwheel. We talk about cartwheel a lot on this channel. Those are those spokes that you see moving around the coin as it moves through light. Examples of cartwheel luster for a coin. That's one of the indications that this coin has never been cleaned. You don't often see cartwheel on cleaned coins, especially improperly cleaned coins. That's one of those tells that we coin collectors look for. So this one's got beautiful cartwheel luster, and it's got a light layer of surface toning.
The cartwheel is a radial reeded polish. Radial reeded polish.
That seems to kind of float over the surface of the coin. That's one of the ways that we can also tell that this...
Since I mentioned the word polish, there's no difference between cleaning and polishing. It's just the level, the microscopic level of the abrasions or the decay of the material that you're working with. Okay? There must be 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 different kinds of polishes. You got to get out of the coin world and go into the cleaning world to know that polish, is cleaner, is restorer, it's all the same. Okay?
This toning is probably authentic and original. This is an 1949, Mexican owns it, right? That's this piece. This is the same piece, and this piece has been cleaned. So you can see this piece doesn't have any tone on it, right? If you are one of those people who doesn't like tone and wants your coins to be a bright silvery white.
I went right up here to get my pointer. Like I do so often, I like to get up here and point at this screen. I pulled the tip off my pointer. My orange tip, gotta have it. It's good enough. You can see like brush strokes in this. If you can't see them from there, I'm telling you, there are just like somebody took a piece of sandpaper and just wiped over that with a piece of sandpaper. Say about 300 grit or so. It's harsher than 400 grit.
Right. That's the way people have kind of felt throughout time, but people throughout time weren't really collecting coins to be original, and this one has been stripped of that originality.
400 grit, 300 grit is 400 grit is even too harsh. So yeah, that strips it right off.
See, there is no cartwheel here. No matter where I'm moving in the light, we get a little bit of a reflection change, but it doesn't have those spokes that go around the outside. You can see this piece has unidirectional hairlines in some places. There's a good example. You see all these really light striations that go up and down. Somebody has wiped this coin harshly with some kind of a cloth, maybe a jeweler's cloth that was impregnated.
Okay, that is totally wrong. No. 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 So I got a jeweler's cloth laying around here someplace. Piece of t-shirt. Jeweler's cloth right here. I got one. It's a piece of soft cotton t-shirt. And on it is this red rouge. Jewelers, real jeweler's polish, red rouge. On this piece of real cotton. Real red rouge, real cotton equals jeweler's cloth. Okay? That damage is not from jeweler's polish. That's from, like, do you know what an SOS scouring pad is? Do you know what steel wool is? Because that is definitely at the grade of steel wool, cleaned with steel wool. If you clean your coins with steel wool, a steel wool finish is what you're going to get. If you clean your coins with jeweler's polish, then a jeweler's finish is what you're going to get. And I could take this jeweler's polish and polish that steel wool polish until it's gone. And you will have to use one of these, a jeweler's loop, in order to see the damage that I did with this jeweler's polish. And I don't need no loop to see the damage that is done with that steel wool, with that SOS pad. That SOS polish, it's made for cleaning an iron skillet, not a coin. This is made, where's my ring? Oh, it's over there. That's it. I ain't got my ring on. The whole video is shot. Whole thing. That's it. It's gone. Dang it. Then I'll probably put it on upside down. Not made for cleaning a iron skillet. It's made for cleaning a gold ring. And you don't want to damage that ruby. Okay? And the harder you push on a cloth, the more it's going to remove. The softer you push on the cloth, the less it's going to remove. I.e., push hard, get scratches. Don't push hard, don't get scratches. Or at least at a microscopic level, the reduced size of the scratches from not pushing so hard on the surface. But absolutely, this right here will remove that damage and make it have more eye appeal. If you don't know what eye appeal is, look it up in ANA or PCGS or NGC, whoever you want to go look up what eye appeal is. This will increase the eye appeal of that, which will make it more valuable. Does that make sense?
With an abrasive and possibly chemicals. So while this piece has been wiped, it's probably been dipped, it has definitely suffered from improper cleaning. This coin would probably not get a straight grade through
Probably not. It would not, period.
If I were to grade these pieces, I would probably grade this piece in MS62, MS63, maybe on a good day. This piece I would probably grade uncirculated details, maybe not even uncirculated details. It would probably grade AU details about uncirculated details. Improperly cleaned, it may even go to the spectrum of harshly cleaned.
Harshly cleaned.
The difference in value.
Steel wool.
Right now, these are particularly hot.
It's an SOS scouring pad.
Again, I did a video series about these. I'll leave comments down below so you can check out that series if you want to. A fascinating coin. Fascinating metal, not technically a coin.
Where's the chat?
This in uncirculated condition with a little bit of original toning. I would
Why
guess
did
it's
you
probably
take the
in the
chat
$100,
off?
$125 range right now as I'm
There was some
filming.
good people in
This
there.
clean piece, a little bit better than half that. I wouldn't expect this piece to sell for more than 65, maybe
I don't care
$70.
what the money is.
Same coin, right? Same potential that these better than 1/8 of an inch of that pure acetone into this very clean and sterile Pyrex glass dish. We're going to keep the lid on it for right now. Remember, we're actually on a ceramic plate here, and that's because I didn't want to get any of this on the beautiful Navajo rug that we always use as the backdrop.
We talked about these graded coins, and one of them is a improperly clean coin. And man, gold is soft, man. Somebody had worked the surface off of that coin so bad. I have a coin I could compare with it, show you what it's supposed to look like. But man, they SOS padded the braids right out of her hair. You can't see the braids. It's so bad. It's bad. But it's gold. It's authentic. It's in a holder, so nobody's going to treat it bad anymore. So anyway.
Right, it would destroy it instantly. Remember that when you're using that fast drying and no residue, they are
Well, where'd it go?
Surface to them that I don't find very attractive. Also, it's time to cut these out of these paper flips. I don't use 2x2s anymore. Rather, I'll be using the safe flips to store these in. Remember these from the last video also.
I do
these
plastic
are an
capsules.
invert, non-PVC, archival safe 2x2 flip.
I suggest you use a plastic capsule. A hard plastic capsule. Airtight. Airtight. So the air is stagnant. Then I'd go outside and get some fresh air in it and put it in there. Not some air out of your bathroom. Okay?
So I want to take them out of these. I want to very gently dip them in the acetone. I'm going to let them air dry. Now this acetone's the coin a little bit to get a little bit further away from the edge. PVC, archival safe 2x2 flip. So I want to take them out of these. I want to very gently dip them in the acetone. I'm going to let them air dry. Now this acetone says specifically...
All right, let's talk about air drying with acetone. All right, the first thing is, you said a little while ago, I don't know if it was on here or if I skipped it. You want to be careful with pouring this stuff down the drain because you could actually eat up your drain pipes. I go a step farther and I would say, well, I don't have it. I did. I would say go to the material safety data sheet and read the directions on safety before you use acetone. Okay? Here's just some industrial uses for this solvent called acetone. Wikipedia. Maybe you should go read about what you're actually using. Okay? And when you get done with that, you skip over here and you check Google to see what the pH of acetone is. Okay? Because that's very important as to whether this substance is going to eat your coin away or not. What is the pH? The lower that number gets, the more likely it is that it's going to burn a hole through your hand. It's going to burn your fingers. And we use acetone to make fingernail polish out of. Only we pH balance it to bring this up so it's not so acidic, so it won't damage things. Okay, so you're better off not to use something that's so strong and use something that's pH balanced like fingernail polish. And then if that doesn't work, then get out the acetone. But why start with the more vicious chemical and then what? Switch to the less? Start with the not so abrasive, okay? And then if it won't work, then go up to this acetone. But fingernail polish, pH balance is better if you can get away with and not having to use this. Acetone is a weakly acidic organic molecule. It's like 6 hydrogens and 3 carbons and 1 oxygen, I think, something like that. So it's not very much of an oxidizer. It's but anyway. Acetone is found naturally in the human body. Okay. Keep that in mind. pH balance, pH of acetone, a weakly acid organic molecule, is 5 to 6 on the pH level. It is acidic. It is acidic. It is not alkaline, it is acid. The opposite of alkaline, acid. Okay, I think you should know that before you use this.
Fast drying and no residue. There are some folks, when they use this technique, they actually like to rinse the coins with distilled water. I think that that's probably a good thing to do.
Distilled water is a solvent. The reason you use distilled water is so you don't leave water spots from minerals that are in drinking water. As I told you, you can use a vacuum sweeper to just sweep that off of there. Or you can use some toilet paper and dry it off, depending on what the level of the quality of the coin is. Am I going to get a play here? I think I'm still running it from 17. Well,
Hopefully you are coming to this volume 2 of cleaning coins, myths, truths, and techniques.
we'll drop down to 240.
From having seen the first episode. In fact, I'm going to stop this right here. I don't want you to watch.
No, I know. But at least I'm saving you some time of not watching.
And we're going to try to turn.
So you dip the coin in acid. I stick my fingers in there.
And let it sit just.
I just stick my fingers in there and grab it.
Acetone.
It's just fingernail polish. It ain't gonna burn you.
And I did get a drop on my finger just there. Acetone's not so dangerous. It's going to eat through your skin, but it's not something that you really want. Now, this acetone, again, says it's fast drying with no residue. So in this case, I am not going to dip these coins or rinse them in pure water, distilled water, or whatever, even tap water after I get done doing this. I'm just going to...
After he gets done putting this acid on this coin, after he gets done taking acid and putting it on that coin, he's not going to dry the acid off. He's going to take the coin, he's going to set it on here. He said he's not going to rinse it in water. Not even distilled water. He's going to set it on there and leave the acid on the coin. Out of all the coin cleaners that I've seen on YouTube, none of them leaves the acid on the coin. They rinse it off with water, and if it's me, I take it and I wash it with dish soap, because that dish soap is pH 8. Alright, it's alkaline. It's not acid. It won't eat the silver. It actually neutralizes all this 5 to 6 pH acidic liquid that he's about to leave on this coin. He's going to leave it on the coin.
I'll let them air dry. We'll see how they look after a bit. Again, we're just removing the surface contaminants. It's not really necessary to move it in this case. I just want to get the surface of that coin completely covered, and then we'll go ahead and see if we can get it out of here. And note that I did not see anything that looked like PVC damage, definite damage.
That dirt is not going to come off there unless you put enough pressure to make it move off of the silver. Okay? I guess what you're trying to do is bleach it off of there, or you're trying to, which you don't even have bleach, you got acid. You're trying to vaporize it with acid. You need to use, if you want to do that, you need sulfuric acid to do that, okay? Acetone acid is not strong enough to vaporize that black oxidation off the coin. And not only that, but you are, by not taking it off, you are just adding more acid into the oxidization that's on the coin, and then you're letting it dry, the new acid dry into the old acid, which is going to reactivate the old acid, and a year from now, that coin is going to be shot in the ass.
Image on this piece while I was unwrapping it. I didn't see any of that green gunk. I didn't see anything that had turned black. Going ahead and shaking it off just a little bit.
It should go right to the soap and water.
And I'm just going to let it air
It's
dry.
pH 5.5.
Drops on the surface of this piece.
It's pH 5.5. It's going to tone.
This acetone over.
A year from now, it's going to show.
Showing it with 5 coins. I think that'll probably
3 years from now, it's going to be some cool color.
Particularly bad.
And 10 years from now, it's going to be all black.
Pieces dry. We don't want to wipe them.
And somebody's going to look at it and say, well, it's not fake. Yeah, it's not fake, but it's only 10 years old.
The larger
It's not as old as the coin is. The coin's 100. Your toning's only 10.
Contamination can then just dry on the surface of the coin, and that kind of defeats the purpose, and we don't want to do that, so it's not purpose. So here we go. This one is an 1894. This one actually
I need to
does
quit
have
right
a nice
here.
luster, at least in the 2x2. Let's open this
This
one
is
up.
so nerve-wracking.
That at least some contaminants are coming off.
No.
But I don't think you often see very much of that.
No.
It really seems to be almost on a chemical level. So you
On a chemical level, no. If the color comes off that coin, it will be in this clear liquid, and it will change the color of the liquid. You can see that over and over and over. When I clean a coin, the color comes off the coin and goes into the liquid, changes the color of the liquid, so you know it's been removed. No, that acetate did nothing to remove any of the oxides off this coin. Not only that, but now you got more acid in these oxides than you ever had before. And it's going to get blacker and thicker and thick and black. And if that's the way you like them, but don't you tell me it's real. Don't you tell me the coin was born that way, because the coin was born this way, not that way. And that's not even close to looking like this. Because in that situation, acetate does not work. It's just not strong enough. Leave it in there for 6 months and maybe it'll work.
On the floor sometimes 200 years ago. I would say this is probably a VF piece, and now that we've
I would say
off whatever's
I would say that was put in a slot machine 250 years ago. I am so out of here. Oh, this is exhausting. Do not let acid sit on your coins. Do not dry acid on your coins. Look up the MSDS. Look up the pH of the cleaner that you're using. Know what you're dealing with. And don't take his advice. Seriously. And that is some serious. There's a lot of people that back me up on that. You do not leave acid on a coin. Go ask your friends. I'm out of here. That's all, folks. Jefferson T. Rowe. Peace. Peace. Peace out. Alright? Alright then.